serial entrepreneur, trader, consultant.
And working with governments and working with Fortune 500 companies. I was selling more paintings in real estate than real estate because I lost $5 million.
$5 million is that.
So many really big projects still end up crashing. I actually fired clients more than I even hired clients. We fired a $400,000 mobile app project, which was a huge deal. And they say crypto's a scam.
Yes.
They say it's a scam because of this specific entry.
Exactly.
Me and my partner Mitch, we took over a wicked bankrupt. If I don't sell right now, I'm gonna lose everything. Or if I don't buy right now, I'm gonna lose opportunity as well.
Welcome to WEEX Labs Talk. In today's episode, I would like to welcome Moose, who is a serial entrepreneur, a crypto trader since 2019, and he is consulting businesses on digital transformation. Good to have you, Moose.
Thanks for having me, man.
Okay, so for anyone who is watching now and they don't know you, could you give us a short introduction of yourself?
Of myself today or myself?
Of yourself as of today, and we will go later through your past and the future.
Basically, I consider myself as an enabler for businesses, but that also doesn't stop at founders or governments. It's the spectrum of how do you enable your business from a startup founder to SMEs, and that helped me to also enable governments. And it's all basically around digital transformation and involving AI to optimize your business. And also, that being said, how to position yourself in the market to get the proper users, especially in the crypto space recently. And that's who I am. And the digital transformation is not limited to a certain sector because it's the same problem every business has. How to lower your costs, how to make more money, and how to be in front of the right people.
Exactly, and especially how to get more customers, get more money. So you are giving a service which brings in the return more money to the company. That's great, but I'm very curious regarding this part, what you said, especially for crypto. You mean crypto projects or like crypto companies which are doing services, so like exchanges? What exactly do you mean by that?
So if we talk about like exchanges, for example, right? There's different companies when they work in crypto space, if they're working with B2B or B2C, right? And that differs on the type of service that I would provide. But because of the ecosystem I've been very fortunate to build around the blockchain space and the crypto space, I can provide services on having the proper regulations, the proper setup you need to operate in a specific jurisdiction, as a exchange, for example, OTCs as well, you know.
Okay.
And when it goes to crypto projects are trying to, spray on Twitter.
Spray and pray.
Yeah, spray and pray, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully they can get some attraction. And 99% of them would probably either dump on Pump Fund or they would end up being a project, but they didn't even know what is their product. Yeah. So I help the crypto projects to know what product exactly to sell and to package it properly, to build a real business out of it. And my mission in the crypto space is to try to find the proper products that have value and the founders don't have an idea that that is actually their value, and support them in packaging that because they're still stuck in Web3, but they don't know we're humans, and humans started from Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. And it's the same mechanism. That's basically my mission.
No, that's really interesting, and especially that I saw many times in the cryptocurrency space that, for example, there was a wave of NFT projects, there was wave of DAO projects, there was wave of play to earn projects, right? And the thing is, either you are riding this wave or when it ends, you can copy the model, you can even make it better, but it will not click because in crypto, especially, you either have a really good project, you solve really some pain points or issues of the users' communities, or you need to ride the wave, in my opinion. So, for example, when there was NFT space, any NFT you launched was almost at the beginning, and almost certainly it will get some attention, some traction, right? If you will now create NFT, Yeah, you can, but what's the point? Even one of the biggest exchanges in the world, I will not mention name here, I closed their NFT marketplace and don't support anymore. So definitely that's good what you do, because there is a lot of people who come to this space and they just want to do this project, which, for example, they came up with this idea 2 or 3 years ago and they think now is the time. But in crypto, the number one thing which you need to do is timing, in my opinion. As in trading, as in creating project, this is the number one thing which differentiate your project from failure to success.
Yeah. I would just want to add back to this when regarding NFTs. Your expectations back then, it was how cool it looks and how flashy it looks. If it was a monkey or a dinosaur, right?
CryptoPunks.
Yeah, and these are all great names. But now you know that the expectations of the public is what are the utilities, how powerful the utilities, how much money I can make out of it, and the expectations keep growing and growing because they're trying to avoid all the scammy NFTs. Which again, no matter how much you try to protect it, so many really big projects still end up crashing.
Exactly.
And founders keep running the projects, right?
Yes.
And that's the mission, like I said, right?
Yes, yes. Most of the people, they just want to extract value from this market, but this is not the way, in my opinion. But you are so confident about NFTs. Like, have you tried yourself anything with NFTs?
Oh yeah,
Paris,
crazy.
or no?
Of course, yeah. Actually, it's a fun story, but
Tell me.
me and my partner Mitch, we took over a Wiki Club. It's and the whole concept of taking it over wasn't a personal kind of vendetta or a personal gain. It was actually more because we realized that the founder was running the project. This was back 2000, I don't know, 17, 18, 19, around that time, right? So, and Mitch felt the necessity of taking over that project and giving back to the community. And he took it even outside of Web3 to Web2, where he was like, I know where you are, and I know that you're running the project. People, and this was like OG project. Wikibonga was like at the same time Bored Ape launched.
Okay.
So that concept of realizing now what an NFT project should be, and even if it's for fun, make it clear that it's for fun. Don't have fake promises. Don't have don't say that you have certain utilities, but you don't, just to pump your NFT project. But yeah, that era was interesting. And again, the whole concept was either you're giving heavy utilities or just we're holding because I like the art. I want to be with fun community. So having that distinction between what exactly I'm in for is gonna have you a little bit sleep better at night, because
But if you go back in this time, 2020, 2021, it was a really good time. I remember, as we said before, first was the typical altcoin run. Then we had DAO and play to earns, and then was NFTs. Me myself, like, I rode this wave perfectly with altcoins and with DAOs, but then when I saw that this wave is slowing down, I jumped out. Jumping out means going to USDT or USDC. Okay, this is jumping out in crypto. You never go to fiat. That's the rule. And I was like looking for this next wave, and it was obvious it is NFTs. But I was watching it, and I'm like, how on earth it can have such a value, right? Like, I didn't get it, and I didn't ride this wave because I didn't feel it. Like, I just didn't feel it. I know a lot of people made money, but also if you are experiencing crypto, you know that this might look like a very nice wave, but it might be a really big trap, So this is, and also I think it's, for example, there are people who are very good in spot, or they are very good in investing in certain projects, and then they see everyone is succeeding, let's say, on trading on leverage. But if someone is making money on it, it doesn't mean that you will be good at it.
Me personally, right? Like, like all I do is spot, right? I know my limits. I know that jumping into leverage, and I know some very close friends of mine, multimillionaires, right? Like they are
traders, multimillionaires,
crazy. Like, nice. They're next level, and they are perfect at leveraging, by the way, right? Leverage, and they know how to exactly position themselves, etc. They can't spot trade. Like, they actually talk to me and be like, maybe I would put X amount with you, just do the spots for me, because I know it's gonna itch. and I'm gonna have to sell, I'm gonna have to short, I'm gonna get into that. So I know my limits. I don't leverage, right? But I just as swing trader, right? As for only for on spot. But I do like this is something that not only the crypto traders, by the way, it's just a human nature.
Yes.
It's either greed. Or that's why FOMO exists, like
Yes.
hodl, like holding these terms that started popping up. It's because we're humans. We want to associate with something, and we know that holy shit, if I don't sell right now, I'm gonna lose everything, or if I don't buy right now, I'm gonna lose the opportunity as well.
Yeah, so this is very good that you brought it up. So those are the key mistakes people are doing when they enter the crypto. They usually enter when the market is very hot, extremely overvalued, and they just get the FOMO. And then usually that's the typical first touch for crypto for beginners. Like they come right at the peak and then they burn themselves.
And they say crypto's a scam.
Yes.
They say it's a scam because of this specific entry.
Exactly. Now, for example, we have on Bitcoin more than 50% discount from all-time high, and there is not much interest from the people. But at 126K, everyone was overly excited. But it also brought me memories when you remember when we hit 126K. When we were going lower, I remember a lot of friends of mine were texting me, calling me, saying that they made a very good trade. They bought spot Bitcoin at 100K. They said super nice discount. Yes, but it brought me memories from 2021. I don't remember exactly this year, but it was the similar situation when we were moving down clearly, and everyone was like, "Oh, I got this. I bought it on 20-30% discount." Then they needed to hold for 2-3 years. So this. You need to spend a couple of years, in my opinion, in crypto space to really adapt to the cycles and everything and to understand how it works. Okay. You, as you mentioned, you wear few hats.
Oh yeah.
Serial entrepreneur, trader, consultant. Which one most feel like you? Now.
Yeah, I would say enabler. An enabler would be someone, and in this case as a consultant, right? Because consultant, I even consult my family. If I give advice, I just want to distinguish like clearly the difference between someone giving you advice and someone giving you consultancy, or like someone consulting you go to someone else for consultancy. That differs from, oh, I have someone in the family who's a doctor, or actually booking an appointment and going to a doctor to get an actual diagnosis.
Okay, I understand.
So I'm sure you have a friend, right, who's a trader, okay? Not me, someone else, okay? And you want to have trading advice. Would you just ask them, have it over coffee? That's great. But then when you associated that this is an actual request as a consultancy, they would put in the effort to give you the proper research and proper diagnosis to your specific case. And that would enable you to perform better as a trader, or if you were as a business, etc. So from my side, that is how I really want to dissect being a consultant. Okay. And what it means and how I can provide value. Okay. And that's pretty much what I do. I dissect your business, and this becomes an enterprise level, larger corporations. It becomes a department. Okay. I take over the department and we dissect that as a business, and we figure out not only the gaps, what they don't know about what they're missing out on.
Because you cannot improve what you don't know about.
You don't know what you don't know. That we get that.
Yes.
But now it's even worse, because what if you're an enterprise, you have billions of dollars in flow and departments and hundreds of offices around the world. For you to not, I'm not going to say egoistic or have a arrogant outlook, but it also depends on realizing that these billion-dollar companies break down into regions, and every region have offices, and every office has their own departments, etc. The management layer that are actually outperforming other regions are the ones that are keen to progress and learn, rather than, I've been sitting on this office and this chair for 21 years. Yeah. I know my shit, right?
Yes, and adapt also.
Yeah, with all due respect, I'm always the youngest person in the room, and they realize this after quite some time, because it's challenging. Okay, this guy actually has a point. Yeah. And AI became my entry when they realized that I go and propose something completely new in their own business that they've never tried before, with a ready POC, proof of concept, and a ready demo. They're like, so we never,
POC for me is a point of control. It's in trading. Sorry.
so from our side, like like building something for a business, and that is kind of where it really like kicked off, and working with governments and working with Fortune 500 companies.
Nice.
And with
That's
that,
very impressive.
yeah, and that's just kind of something that I realized. Like governments actually, and Fortune 500 companies, and like, large corporations are now doubling down on the youngest person in the room that has value, that is perceivable by the general public, and they can reciprocate that internally. Meaning, the management take a risk on hiring someone who says, I have done these, or sales department, right? I've made these sales and I can close these deals and I've done this project, etc. Great. They walk in the first 3 months, they perform at some capacity, and then eventually they feel comfortable, right?
Yeah.
And the accountability of the comfort zone comes from this enablement that we provide. How can you be more AI automated? How can you be more accountable? How can you be more efficient, not only at your work, which is the basics of what people say, but intangible. I don't just give you the consultancy and that know-how, and now you know how. I'm an executor, right? So we execute on your behalf for a period of time, and now you know how to ride a horse. And good luck,
Nice. And do you know how WEEX is implementing this kind of things which you mentioned, but we do it in-house? Maybe we need to also discuss.
This is. I know the AI trading.
Exactly, hackathon. Yes. Now we have in June and July and August we will host this global AI hackathon. Previous one was only AI trading. We were inviting traders from all around the world to trade with the funded accounts on our platform. The main prize was Benti Bentayga, the new car, and $1.8 million prize pool. This year, the hackathon is coming. It will be war between human versus AI. So it will be manual trading and AI trading. This is also very interesting. We will definitely insert a link for people who are watching will be interested to join. This is free of charge for everyone. This is the hackathon to test everyone's skills. So, for example, we do this. We implement a lot of new things on the platform itself because what you said, like you need to improve all the time and get out of your comfort zone. We like for the whole team, for the whole company, right?
And you can compare yourself with other competitors, right? And you realize that, well, I can just do this and double down, and then people know about me. I don't need to progress. I can just spend more on marketing. I can spend more on affiliates, and I can spend more here. But the fact that you would realize and take an initiative to be like, not only in AI and introducing new elements, new features to it, new purpose of it existing as product, hackathons, etc. So these becomes all these layers is you seeking discomfort.
Take us back. What was your first business? Why did you start this type of business? Tell us more about it.
Like I've always been a hustler, right? The hustle culture. Obviously, only now recently I realized how to convert the hustle culture into something more professional and presentable, etc., and still have that hustle culture within, rather than just trying to scrap and try to figure out what. And I think that's that converts someone who's making 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month to eventually trying to make more than 6 figures a month, right? But my first business, actual business, was a real estate agency that I built when I was 21 in Cyprus, by the way. And you'll be like, what does that even mean? How? I'm an architect. My background, my professional background, I'm an architecture engineer, right? I was studying architecture, and the best thing to do is basically get into real estate, and that's what you get money and hustle there, right?
No, the best is crypto.
But right, that's when COVID hit, right? Because I just turned 29, right?
Okay.
So I was, I think, around 21 at that time, even 20, between 20 and 21. And I realized that real estate is something that you can make money on. But as me as an architect, I thought to myself, I have an edge. So that was like the first click where what edge can you have in any sector because of your value? I can now put it in one sentence in my head. But back then, I had no idea what was I doing, right? But yeah, literally, real estate was something I got in. And the only reason I was actually good at it for two reasons. One, I was better at staging because I'm an architect, but I'm a really good salesman, actually, you know? And the only reason I was doing that, I was selling more paintings in real estate than real estate because
Wow.
I'm a painter.
Wow.
So I stage it as an artist, and it was next to my university. And I just took a sales job in a real estate agency.
So you studied in Cyprus?
Yeah, architecture department. Yeah, I worked, and I ended up being actually a really good architect, but I was a D student in school. I was always a D student. And yeah, I go and present these properties, villas, really high end. I was like doubling down on the high end that every other real estate agency or agents were running away from because it's too expensive. No one can sell it, you know, and it's very hard. It takes more time. And I go around with my bicycle, by the way, just park it, wear my suit, and look clean. And the staging of the property was mostly art that I painted.
Wow.
So when I walk in, anyone, even if they don't buy the property, I was still selling them the paintings. So I made my first actual like $15,000 from the painting, only my paintings.
Nice.
And from that, I sold my first property. That was my paintings and the villa. And the first number got me like to be the youngest broker in all of Cyprus. I was the cover of International Property Show and
Nice.
property magazines. And I realized, wait a minute, I didn't do that because of selling real estate at all, by the way. It was how am I like able to present and package it properly. And that's where I realized, okay, it's marketing and it's PR and it's relationships.
Yes.
And from there, yeah, I had to start all over again when I came and like transferred to Dubai. And yeah, from there, I started working as an architect again.
You were born in the UAE, right? And then you moved to Cyprus for
Yes.
studying?
Yeah.
And then you went
So-
back to UAE?
Correct.
Okay.
And when I went back to UAE, I went back to the UAE only because I finished my university and I had to work as an architect. Like doing this whole real estate didn't work out because I was still young, and I was taken advantage of. Like I didn't know much about legal and equity structure and all of that complicated stuff.
Okay.
I was just having fun and doing my sales thing. I made some money here and there, and COVID hit, and everything starts.
Oh, when we...
That's why.
Nice.
Things happen, and I was already into crypto. In COVID, I sat down, locked down for 7 months, and it was my first time making actual money that paid for my university, my accommodation, my family, and everything.
Nice.
I was only spot trading,
Right.
but it was in a really successful bull run. And yeah, from there, that money got me to think differently about business.
Okay. So when we are around COVID was the interesting event for everyone, and a lot of people experienced a lot of losses. Maybe you can share what was your biggest loss in life, why it happened, what was the lesson from it, what did you take out of it?
Crypto related?
The best ones are
Oh,
crypto
yeah.
related.
You mean the worst ones?
Maybe not the worst ones, but since we are WEEX Labs Talks is podcast around crypto, it's
actually, one thing that I don't know what people realize how hard is it to actually make money, and then realize harder how much is it gonna affect your life by losing money, and because you wouldn't know how hard is it to lose money if you've never lost $5 million,
yes.
right?
So this is the number.
Yeah, so I lost $5 million.
$5 million is the actual number.
And why would I lose $5 million if I'm an expert at everything? I'm not an expert at everything, but I am very committed in learning and expanding my knowledge. And I always think that I'm actually not the smartest person in the room. So I make sure that I develop, grow my personal knowledge, right, and development. But I would commit to saying that this was a mistake where I didn't take, because I did have the money. I was able to buy 10 Bitcoin every month for 5 months, structured, strategically planned, but I decided not to. And Bitcoin was at 25. And I was like, because I know a lot about this, it will go down. And why would I need to do that? Because I've already seen the last, all-time highs at around 60s around the COVID era. So that was around 2022, I think, as far as I remember. But in 5 months, I realized clearly that I just avoided making $5 million, and that
So
is.
you didn't take risks.
Imagine having $200,000 at your disposal from your business that you're generating, and successfully allocated that to an investment pocket, and your partner keep pushing you and saying, didn't you say this is the best time to buy Bitcoin? And then
I said.
and I said so, right? I told
said
you so. But then, I can only say this story because I learned from it, right? And I will also be able to say this story if I did make the 5 million. But regardless, I actually made a lot more money because of this fall down.
That's
So
what
this
I
is
want. That's what I wanted to say. That sometimes the universe, God, however you call it, is not giving you this money at this moment because either you are not ready for this money or something different is waiting for you somewhere else.
Yeah.
And this might distract you from your journey, which or the path you are now. So we don't know the plans of the.
Actually, that's so true. Because if I actually track back my life at that same time where I would have bought 10 Bitcoin every month for 5 months, around $20,000 to $25,000 per Bitcoin, it would have been at 100K, right? It would have been $5 million, and I would have probably not sold it even, right? But the fact that I can see it and acknowledge that, I would have not hustled as much and learned from it as much and taken now risks further, which I did with my AI consultancy and worked with governments and worked with build a huge reputation and when it comes to business consultancy and digital transformation. So that was something I actually am proud of. That I didn't go into depression, and I'm actually pretty proud of it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you see, so this money would probably make you lazy because everyone is getting.
Shaved my head by then.
You would shave your head, and that would be it. So yeah, the struggles in life, they push us in different directions, sometimes in those right directions because it looks like you're on your path now, right?
Oh yeah, I believe in purpose. I genuinely believe in purpose, and purpose can be allocated just like a business, right? You allocate your mental capacity. There's an allocation for what am I doing and contemplating your life in a proper manner, and realizing what is the purpose behind it. And people, I would say, forget that and get distracted by life, all these flashy stuff about life, making money or not making money, or could be in the negative side where you're distracted by, oh, I need to make money, I'm not making enough, distracted by, oh, I need to have a wife or a girlfriend, I don't have, or whatever. But if you I'm a big fan of zooming out and just analyze your life. I have a tracker. I literally track every single piece of my life, from time to activities to decisions, and I have it on Excel sheets.
I'm on this side as well. I'm Excel guy.
And by the way, it doesn't need to be too stiff. Just if you're not happy about your life, you track the last 3 months. If you can't track it, that means you will not be able to actually fix it and move forward.
Yeah.
Right?
But for example, I cannot take decisions if I don't have Excel. Like I always when there is something I need to think about or I always open Excel and just write all the options, cost this here, and then you have a real picture of what is this decision you want to take. That's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of time blocks. Timing is very important. And I'm not saying, just put the times and this is what you talk about. This is my work time. This is my sleep time, etc. That's fine. But for you to be able to track your life, to then be able to make decisions that will propel you to a better future for your own self, even if you're a 9 to 5 working, even if you don't have a job, even whatever it is, your position is the same basics. If you know how to track your time, and not track it meaning, okay, I'm only going to work from this period to this period and sleep. Tracking your time is your life. So can you track your days or your weeks or your months? Just have some sort of standard, because just like trades, some people trade at a 4 hour chart, right? Someone else only is very capable of trading on 1 hour or 5 minutes, let alone, right? So if you're doing that with trades, and then you're doing the same thing in your business, sitting with your board and sitting with your team members and co-founders and having decisions and brainstorming, why are you not doing that with your own life for your own purpose and treated it as a business? So, you know.
Yes, I agree with that, and this is what I see with. I work with many traders. I see a lot of traders. Their behavior. The most successful ones are the ones who are very disciplined. This is mostly discipline and psychology. It's not about the technical skills you have or how many books you read about trading or how well you read patterns on the chart. It's mostly people who are successful, and everything they do in life, this is purely discipline, and they stick to their plan in life. For example, when they say they will do it, they just do it. And if they fail, they just say, okay, let's move on to the next one. But for example, in trading, the discipline is the biggest factor, because if you have a plan that after first loss, for example, you walk away, this is easy to say, hard to do. I saw so many people, like they had a really strong winning like month, week, or they were making a lot of profit. Then in one day, they, for example, could even blow up the account just simply because of lack of discipline.
And lack of the thing is also, just let's backtrack a little bit. How can you be at a state to even be disciplined? Right? So it starts from a mental state, right?
Yes.
You're willing to take a decision.
Yes.
About something that you want to fix in the future, right? And that could be losing weight. That could be not losing much money or become a better trader, right? Or finding a better job. Or regardless, all of those require discipline. So how can you even get there? Well, I need to have a capacity in your mental state to even be able to contemplate your life's position, your current decisions, and moving to the first step of planning. You said, oh, I have a plan of etc., right? Can you show me your plan? Do you have a document about your plan? Do you have it on an Excel? Did you write it down in steps? What is your plan? I have a plan of getting married next year. What is your plan? When, how much, where?
Exactly.
If it's not an actual plan, trading, I would have a stop loss at this rate, and I would exit after 3 losses in a row, etc. Do you have it written, or is it just in your head?
Exactly.
So
that's why successful traders, they have like a checklist they always have near them or on the wall.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I lost 3 times. Check. That means it literally says in there, if you lose 3 times in a row, take a break and fly out to Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Like take a break.
Yeah.
So that's kind of.
Or maybe the easier one, just log out.
No, because you really need to step back. So I think that is just people complicate it. If you make it simple, and simple means stick to the basics for a long enough period, and you would eventually, it's the same principle everywhere.
Yeah.
Making 3 phone calls and trying to close deals in sales won't get you nowhere.
Yes.
Try doing 3,000.
Calls. Yeah, I wanted to confront you on that, because free calls is nothing.
You see what I mean?
100 is a good start per day, of
but
course.
Are you willing to do 3,000?
Yeah.
Trades.
Pick up the phone and start dialing. You know the movie.
Yeah, I mean, basically, right? So
yes.
The whole concept is like to be consistent means to be disciplined, just like the reps going to the gym.
Yeah.
Are you willing to go for 300 runs? I run for 90 times. Oh, that's great. But your plan was 300. So please stick to it, and keep going. So it's not just bullshit. Also on motivation, you see this also on social media all the time, right?
Yeah.
They say all the stuff that we just mentioned. I'm just the person that tells you.
This is true, but people do not want to implement it.
I'm the person that will cut you and tell you, I see this, you should have fixed it. This is how you fix it. I will hold you accountable to it, which is not my plan. I just helped you prep your plan for your own success. And you always need that. That's why people hire a PT, personal trainer. That's why some hire a consultant, right? Yeah. But the concept of accountability, some people are not actually able to get there. They haven't gone through enough suffering in their life to even
Part of your work is, I like to call it babysitting. But
in grown-up terms, therapy.
therapy. Okay.
In grown-up terms,
In grown-up terms, yeah. It's easier for us people to see weaknesses, issues in someone else, but it's not easy to reflect on yourself. It is possible, but it's not that easy. So that's why what you mentioned, I could, for example, tell you, you need to fix this, because I see it
Thank you
clearly.
so
But
much for your and then what?
yeah, but you need to also keep this person. You need to keep yourself accountable, but it's also not easy. So that's why you have people like you. And also, for example, in trading, this is when you have the most successful trading groups, which I saw personally, is the founder or the main trader of the group. He's taking like he is taking care of these people, like for example when they don't show up for the mentoring sessions or psychology sessions, he's like pushing them. Why are you in my group? Why did you came here?
Yes.
What do you want? Do you just think it will magically click, like if you will not put work into it?
And
if
you
will
kick them out of the group, by the way.
Yeah, they should.
They might,
Some
like,
of
you
them
might lose money. I might lose money firing a client. I actually fire clients more than I even hire clients.
we should
I remember this. We fired a $400,000 mobile app project, which was a huge deal, by the way. Back then, when I wouldn't like, we really need the money, we fired them because we realized they are not willing to commit to their growth and their vision and their supposed plan that we were hired to help them build. And because we've done it before, right? Or we're not as greedy as someone else. It could have been greed. It could have been first time ever. It could have been so many reasons of why I would have just been like, oh, let me take this 400,000 and we'll build this app. If it works, if it works. It doesn't work, it doesn't work. I have my morals, I have my standards, and I have also my purpose in always having value. So you can only, that was crazy. That was probably the first time I would have seen $400,000 sent to me, and I said no to it. And that broke me for a bit, but that breaking, that's what I was saying. I chose the suffering. So I always say this to people in any field, and these are like really nice life concepts, right? The Miracle is something that's incredible, like really.
Miracles?
Yeah, it's the company called The Miracle.
The Miracle.
It's a Web3 infrastructure company.
Okay.
And I'm consulting and running the marketing lead and go-to-market for them right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was introduced before they even launched in MetaMask, and now we're officially launched in MetaMask.
Okay.
Inside MetaMask app, you can go there and find benefits. So the Miracle, I can actually talk about this. This is great because this helps crypto projects get in front of their perfect users, the perfect wallets and perfect users inside MetaMask and inside Solflare.
So it's like some sort of advertisements inside MetaMask?
It's not advertisement. It's giving you benefits to the users, and the companies obviously get the placement, right? So you put a placement, and you see like an ad, but it's not an ad. It's like benefit.
Okay, nice. And it's already live in MetaMask?
Yeah, it's a MetaMask.
Nice. We need to see.
This is cool.
Maybe we can bring them to WEEX as well.
Of course, I would love to.
We need to discuss it.
We'll see that,
Definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
So it helps basically user acquisition, right? So for projects, how instead of spray and pray, right? And on Twitter, just spending money, and in the end, you don't know, you can't even track that metrically properly, right? Imagine having your benefit, if you're giving an airdrop, if you're giving a discount, it could be even companies that are not on Web3, any company, but even specifically on Web3, if you want to get to wallets and users that want your service, want your product, want your airdrop or your token, your whatever it is that you're providing in Web3 as well, they can find you. Yeah, and you can find them.
Exactly.
Through the benefits program, where you can give out a benefit, a value, and raffle prize, right? And all of those can be given out through the Miracle, integrating exclusive with a lot of integrators. And yeah, I'm very proud of be part of like the Miracle's progress so far. Nice. Very, very inspiring. Yeah.
Nice. Definitely, we will have a small chat regarding this after the podcast as well.
Yeah, I love that.
I would like to ask you first, so because I'm not sure we covered it, you entered in 2019 to crypto, right?
Yeah.
Why did you enter? who invited you, let's say, to this journey into cryptocurrencies? What was your first altcoin or Bitcoin which you bought? Like, what was your first investment into this market?
But just on that note, it's crazy how now you're asking me this question. I'm thinking about it. Today, I'm advising crypto projects to get regulated in different jurisdictions around the world and the proper way to be compliant. Only, what, 6 years in or 7 years in. But in reality, when I first time heard about crypto or actually interacted with crypto, 2019, and it was more on my creative aspect as an artist. It became, oh, what's the art behind it? And then how platforms were creating these NFTs, and post NFT became, the more the metaverse side. And as an architect and an artist, I was like, oh, I can design games, I can design metaverses, etc. That was my first like actual attention that grabbed me, right? To crypto. My first ever, I remember this clearly. It was I think 0.15 Cardano, and that was
Cardano, hey,
and you remember also that time around COVID, right? Cardano was like ADA is going crazy,
Yes.
I don't know about what's going on right now, but we were very, very like
Cardano, Stellar, and there was two more which were moving together always. I remember, but they are like dinosaurs now, those altcoins.
Yeah, exactly. So you can imagine that's when I was like, oh, and by the way, in COVID, I actually made a lot of money out of Cardano. I said, like, it was my first time trading, actually trading, because I was forced into it in COVID. But that's when I started actually like progressively trading, and I started with like $2,000, and I grew that into 20,000, and then from 20,000 I was like, wait, I can actually make this. And again, don't get me wrong, I was still young, very young, like
You're still young.
I have a lot of white hair right now, but for other reasons outside of crypto as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember clearly, and even ETH, I remember like ETH 1200 was like, oh, we're like all-time high. It's crazy now, Now if it's 1200, I'll put all my money in ETH, for example. So
yes. Now is a very good time for everyone who was waiting. Of course, it's not financial advice. We are not giving financial advices. Everyone is doing what they want in life. We are just having a friendly conversation. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. We went through a lot of interesting topics.
You thought you bought deep, but it keeps dipping. There is a saying, right? So everyone needs to be aware of that as well. So, okay, what was your worst trade in life? It can be crypto, it can be crypto related, or
it would not be, again, necessarily crypto related, but my worst trade, actual trade, I don't want to be philosophical about this, but this is the reality. And like I said, I give my time every day to talk about this with myself. I have an allocated mental capacity to contemplate my life. Like I actually programmed my life to do that. So I can answer this question because I've already thought about this stuff before. I've traded too much time and too much effort to the wrong people and to the wrong attention. That was like it should not have been those alleys where I put my time and effort in. And most of it would be also even crazier. I should not have been working in my business. That was the worst thing I could have ever done, because I probably lost another extra 10 million from the money that we made because I was working in the business. I was never working on the business.
Yes, that's true.
And I traded that. That was my trade. And I traded being, CEO or the founder of the company, and I had a vision to scale. And by the way, we've done a great job. Actually, I'm really proud of what we've done in a very short period of time, 4 or 5 years. But in reality, I traded a lot of that, and that's why I did lose my 5 million in crypto because my time was all somewhere else.
We already discussed it. You didn't lose. It was.
Trust me, I know that I lost it because I have allocated that somewhere else. I was like, I had the 5 million plan for it, And planning also is could be in a negative way, right? We talked about like planning, etc. But what if you keep planning for this and then it never happens? Now your plan dies.
Yeah.
But that was also another problem that I.
So since we are in this topic that you could, should, coulda, shoulda, as they say.
Yeah, sure.
Quick hot take round.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, or altcoin for the next 12 months. What do you think?
12 months? Bitcoin is a very good entry. I'll still say Bitcoin.
Use Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Definitely, I agree with that
big believer.
100%.
Yeah,
This is
no financial advice, but
not
I
fine.
know that Bitcoin going to 200 easy in the next cycle. So.
Yeah, I also think like this. So, and what do you think at the current market cycle? Do you think this year we will start seeing some move up again? Do you think we are distributing, accumulating? What's your view on the market and as of now?
Again, let's just be very, very clear. This is not any financial advice.
No, we
Or
just
anything, right?
discuss.
The
We don't
people,
suggest
like,
anyone.
if this gets clipped and it says I am saying buy this or I do this,
No.
I know something could happen. My account got like a lot of fake accounts were created and they take my stories
Wow.
and they take my stories and send people to Telegram and I'm like, guys, if it's not verified, then it's not me. And they were telling them $5, I'll give you my trades. I'm like, guys, I trade once a month. So please
Wow.
don't be scammed by anyone else. Right?
So someone made a fake accounts of you and
They take my stories, even a story of me in my car.
Wow.
So now, like, I don't know how much more clear I need to be, but people need to be like very cautious about this. I have a verification badge for a reason,
Yeah.
and even all my socials, right? So that's one reason.
Maybe I will help you with this question.
Yeah.
Have you seen this post on this forum? I just don't remember the name. You know, this very old type of forums where there was this guy who predicted all-time high in previous cycles and
Okay.
all-time lows. There was a guy who we don't know who that is, but
Okay.
he perfectly
Perfectly
predicted highs and lows in the 4 last cycles, and he 2 or 3 years ago posted regarding the high which we made last year that in perfectly even mentioned the day it will be hit, and it happened.
So geopolitical, situations, oil and gold,
Yes.
crazy all-time highs.
And especially now, you know what caused this drop on Bitcoin. If you take a look, everyone, if you would like to understand more of the markets, this week or the previous week, we had this week SpaceX IPO, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Space.
So before SpaceX IPO, it was so huge IPO that all market participants, they were like selling their other investments just to get signed on the investment into a SpaceX. And you can clearly see this on ETF flows for BTC ETFs, that the day when they closed like option, like they couldn't accept any more investors into SpaceX, we started seeing they stopped outflows of ETFs for BTC and we saw inflow of money. So before SpaceX IPO, we saw huge outflows of Bitcoin ETFs. So BlackRock and other providers, they had to sell their spot to get money back.
And the leftover was like, okay, now this is the leftover after we can't progress anymore with SpaceX. Let's just put it back in.
Yes, exactly. And we saw it already, but I still do believe we will need some more time to see like a proper bull run again.
But like also another thing, like I said, like regardless of all the publicly clear reasons why Bitcoin can be dropping for the coming also couple more months, but my actual like personal take on this, based on my own research, the current AI bull run. Okay, the current AI bubble, I would say, or it's more not only AI, it's the AI investment flows going from not only institutions and governments, etc. Talking about over 500 billion in AI investments that are allocated only within this year, right? Or the like 2025, 2026. So you can only imagine that investors as well and institutions and large asset management companies as well, like all that goes into AI purposed investments. So what happens after these deals, because some of those deals are not even closed yet, they're negotiations, they're some vesting periods, etc. Like that is going to be ending very soon.
Yes.
And that I think is one of the reasons why Bitcoin will keep dumping for a bit. But after that, all these AI deals, they've already put 20 billion in a company for AI. That's done. So now the next inflow of money that they're gonna have is gonna be diversifying into other asset classes, including Bitcoin, one of them, right?
Yes, this is also very good. I also do believe that we didn't see that much inflow into crypto because AI was obviously hotter than crypto because it's newer topic, like more faster and like we see these huge investments even in the UAE and MENA region for the data centers. Everyone wants to own the piece of data centers, right? SpaceX IPO, they want to put data centers in the space, right? But it's crazy good idea, to be honest. So if you put it into space, that's amazing idea. If you look at
It's
it,
free real estate and free energy. It's coming from the sun directly.
exactly, and it's amazing. And also, I heard that they want to do data centers on the moon or on Mars.
On the moon.
On the moon. It's also really nice. Like we will preserve like some land. That's the
a hot
future.
pick in itself. That's a different conversation for another maybe WEEX Labs or be a WEEX universe, you know?
WEEX Moon.
WEEX Moon, yeah.
Yes, we will have it on WEEX Moon. But if you take a look at like how those ideas are futuristic now, crypto, because when I entered crypto, it was so futuristic. Like people were like, what are you saying? It's impossible. But now we want to put data centers on the moon. So crypto is like, okay, it's very simple. This technology, it's normal, right?
But also traditional. So this is also important regarding the crypto and the innovation and how things and AI is the hot take, etc. But now it will be adopted more because we realize banks are becoming traditional banks are now having there's neobank digital banks, and then becomes crypto-friendly banks, and then crypto-friendly banks become just like having on your mobile app, in your traditional mobile app right now bank. You have investing in ETFs and stocks.
Yes.
You can also invest in Bitcoin. Suddenly you're like, oh, why would I want to take my money out? So the concept of crypto being decentralized and stayed away from banks is being now the normalized.
Crypto lost this part where it was against regulation, and now became like a fully regulated product. It's good. It means that the technology is getting matured, so it will be more implemented and will also have exposure to more traditional capital, which is also a big one. So it is positive sign, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, and when we are talking about traditional banks, payments and everything, what I really like in crypto, what came out of the whole crypto idea and this ecosystem are stable coins. So this is a very interesting topic, and I see huge implementation of stable coins worldwide. There are many companies who are doing like this instant payments, and it's really amazing because when you have this full chain of companies in the ecosystem, if you want to transfer money, for example, from any region, let's say to United States, or from Africa to United States, or MENA region to United States, you have providers worldwide now who, for example, you can send instant transfer. They on-ramp this to USDT or USDC. Transfer of USDC is like a couple of seconds. Then you have off-ramper on the other side. It goes straight to your bank. It can be done if it's a system, if it's not manual work, it can be done in a couple of minutes. And the costs are even less than the traditional transfers. So this is something really interesting, and I'm really glad that this technology has some like real use case in traditional finance as
well. And by the way, the retail, like the general public, don't necessarily need to know.
Yes.
Right? Did you not get your transfer across the globe instantly with less fees? Yes. You don't need to know if it was XRP or if it was whatever the technology used. Just like having a website, having an app, having whatever, it was blockchain. Great. Well, how was that done? It's actually our problem right now. Like our as innovators and people who build this technology and support and so it's our headache. But I'm telling you from like actual experience with consulting banks in MENA and globally on how to become crypto friendly. And when the banks and traditional banks realized how reasonable for them and more feasible to actually do that and implement that, and now we're definitely seeing it for sure. It's already implemented. It's already done. If you don't know how fast things are happening, I would personally suggest give the credits to blockchain and crypto, because now banks are also implementing
tokenization, payments,
RWA tokenizations. That's another world that I would love to cover. But
and do you have something interesting on your plate now when it comes to stable coins or tokenization? Do you have any interesting projects or something like this? What is worth taking a look?
Yeah, actually. So on regards to stable coins, what people know about stable coins, because anyone can really build their own stable coin. It requires the credibility of what it's pegged to, right? And also countries, not only countries, but also institutions can eventually start building these stable coins. The regulation aspect for it to actually grow and become usable and adoptable, like for it to be adapted by the general public or institutions, right? So like, for example, USDT was a one example, or USDC, right? What about freezing your assets?
This is very common. I
Right.
so many times. USDT was very nice and like very
Right.
nice. It was very independent. USDC less. But
Until you get called by Uncle Sam and they tell you what's going on,
yeah,
you need to freeze X and X accounts. And
exactly.
some of them are accounts that should be frozen, right?
Yes.
But what about the ones that should not be frozen at all and would jeopardize a government or jeopardize a corporation billions of dollars because of the ability of actually, freezing that, right? As long as there is another, that's my personal opinion, the next layer of stable coins that would be able to protect themselves, protect their customers, and be also compliant and regulated in a certain manner. But the fact that the process of it being still decentralized, that feeling, will allow people to commit to it and actually adopt it more, rather than, okay, I have whatever wallet it is or whatever fund, but it's like 5% of my actual money that I have between different countries or banks or wallets, etc. Because I don't trust that specific stable coin, and that becomes the trust aspect. So that's my personal opinion on the next layer of what the next stable coins are going to be. And I think governments are going to be pushing their own stable coins.
Yeah.
away.
This is obviously as the government stable coins, but the idea which you mentioned, that unfreezable stable coin. That's good and not good. Like there must be some mechanic for some control, but not when, for example, they block certain wallets because of political reasons. If it's clearly criminal reason, that's obvious, and it should be, because we need to protect our ecosystem, because it's also vulnerable to at some point.
Correct.
So there must be some control, but it must be somehow decentralized or not political control over the stablecoin. That's my idea. What do you think about the meme coins?
I have a hot take on this. Me personally, I've always been a fan of art, like I mentioned, and that is like a very downgrade of art. Like it just disrespects art. I get why people like go crazy. Maybe I'll get slammed for this on social media, but I'm not really a big fan of meme coins. But I actually do know personally founders of meme coins that crossed the 1 billion market cap. I know them personally. And it was just a meme coin, but then eventually they become a real product, be a real project, and they either started building games or building plushies, and distributing it as an IP. I'm a fan of that. So, but I'm not a fan of probably the 98% of the market was 99.9, which is like they're called shit coins. I would personally say all meme coins are shit coins unless you are an actual product. Again, I'm a big fan of value, giving back value, providing any sort of value, and value could be entertainment. It could be, like it doesn't need to be something that's going to change the world. I get it. We can also have fun, but let's not have shit coins and rug people and then call that business.
Exactly. So for someone who is starting today in crypto, they have zero experience. What's step one in your opinion if someone is entering crypto ecosystem?
Different people enter for different reasons. You need to know your reasons.
So first step, reason.
Yes.
Why you enter.
Yes. If your enter is to diversify your current money that you already have, or I will have $100 and I'm young enough and I want to just learn. So learning was the reason, not to make the $100 100,000.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, yeah. So the reason is to learn, not to
Yes.
make, because it's very unlikely to make from $100 100K.
But you can see it everywhere.
Ah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they're all like fake influencers and fake money and fake accounts. And like in the end, I feel bad for all the young generation that like fall for this trap
Yes.
because they lack the knowledge. Also, the grown-ups that are heavy on stocks and investments, and but they like, it's very hard. I don't know about crypto, but let me try. What do they try? They start thinking that it is also the same as, yes, you can analyze a chart. All charts can be analyzed. I get it. But also, what is your reason? Is it diversifying? Then it's diversifying. It is not day trading.
Ah, yes.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So diversifying my current portfolio of money, that means I would buy the stable ones, not stable coins, but the ones that like generically have the highest return on safety. You know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, that's fine, makes more
Yes.
sense, right? I'm buying gold and silver of the crypto space.
Yeah.
But then getting in and getting hooked in and then, you know, day trading and start sculpting and like, come on, like that was not your reason.
Exactly.
So it's either you have money or you don't have at all. Just know your reason. That is my personal advice on someone starting right now, because that reason will help you progress step by step. That reason of knowledge will take you to learning better, understanding it on YouTube just for free. It's all the knowledge is there. To actually make $1,000 out of that $100, you know, and eventually grow. So
okay. So if we are here now talking about these reasons, if you could tell your 2019 year self one thing before he made his first trade, what it would be?
to be honest, I've done great. I'm not gonna lie. Like I did some, and that was actually, I might say it's a coincidence, but it's not a coincidence. It was like I always said, luck. The formula of luck is just hard work meeting opportunity. So I'm extremely hard worker, right? And the opportunities just eventually would come. Just keep going at it, right? That's the discipline side. And my side was I'm a hard worker, stuck in a bedroom or a living room, and the opportunity of COVID happening and crypto existing, you know, and that became me getting into it. But I knew my reason. And because of that reason, I realized I need to build one by one, etc. So my adoption into crypto was like on point because I didn't have any money. So I had to force myself into knowledge. And when I knew got a little bit deeper into crypto, I realized that yes, you cannot just get money quick earlier, especially if like you don't want to do leverage and like go crazy on like gambling basically, which I'm not a fan of. And yeah, but what I would tell myself really to my 2019 self, it would have been, you should have stuck with crypto longer.
You should.
I should have stuck with crypto longer.
Okay.
Because after COVID, I was like, okay, COVID is done. Now let's get back to work and business and let's see what I'm gonna do with my life. And
Okay.
bro, just stick to crypto. You would have been great by now, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm not like satisfied. I'm actually like very, very at peace with myself right now. Like I wake up every morning and I'm pretty happy about my life. But yeah, I could have stuck with crypto more.
Let me highlight here one thing which you mentioned a couple of sentences before, because I see a pattern already here. Our previous guest, also very successful person in life and in business. The thing which is the same with him and with you is you always says that you are not lucky, you are hard workers. And this is something what I agree on, that you might be lucky, but the luck, if you live your life to luck, then good luck. You know, it's like hard work always beat everything. There also needs to be a component of some luck in your life as well, but hard work is what gives you, what makes you ahead of most of the people in life, and what brings you to meet people like you and different people we meet along the way. We met. I'm also a hard worker, right?
Crazy. You're everywhere I go, and our network, like our crazy network, personal network as well. I'm like, how do you know that really random person and the other random person that are both close to me, two different sectors, and you know them very well and they respect you a lot? So that is also something that caught my attention.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why I consider you
Thank
like
you.
my
Yes,
friend, you know?
but we are all hard workers. So
course.
if you are looking for some tip from us, it's hard work always gets you ahead. Where can people follow you to keep up with what you are building, your journey, where they can find you?
Yeah, the easiest would be on Instagram, moose_sh, MOUS_SH. Yeah, and I'm pretty active more on Instagram. LinkedIn for corporate and government, they find me there. And then founders usually find me on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's it for today. I would like to thank you, Moose,
No, I appreciate
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much
for
for having
joining me on this. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We discussed many interesting topics. I think everyone will find something interesting for itself. We will see you on the next episode, and thank you once again, Moose.
Appreciate you.
It was
Thank you for having me.
pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Now I'm gonna wear this.
Yes, and we would like to say goodbye to you
Goodbye.
with the
Bro, this is
WEEX
cool.
glasses.
I'm taking this home, man. I love this.
This is a gift for you.
Oh,
once
thank you
again.
so much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Cool.